When you think of Joe Montana, Candlestick Park, Dwight Clark and the great 49er teams during their Dynasty run of the 1980s, there's one item of clothing that springs to mind, and one colour: gold.
Back, number 16, here comes Joe Montana.
A golden jacket for the team's golden era. A different shade from the Hall of Fame's gold jacket, but every bit as iconic. A jacket that came to define a fan base, a city, and one of the greatest runs in sports history.
49er touchdown from 61 yards away.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into the NFL's most famous jacket.
He jumped in on Russ. But before that, the next guy close to him was the M, and the safety was off.
To understand the importance of this legendary jacket, we need to ask one question: why gold? Let's rewind. Well, back in 1946, the San Francisco 49ers were born as part of the All-America Football Conference, the name 49ers, honouring the prospectors who flocked to Northern California during the 1849 gold rush, and so red, white and gold seemed like a good colour scheme. But the early years, let's just say they weren't exactly golden.
Your screen 82. And this will be picked off by Nettles.
The team joined the NFL in the 1950s, but struggled to find success, reaching the playoffs only a handful of times up until the early 70s. But then came the turning point. Enter Bill Walsh from Stanford. His innovative West Coast offense, emphasizing short, accurate passing, timing and play action, needed the perfect quarterback to make it tick. And in the third round of the 1979 NFL Draft, the Niners found their guy. You might know him, Joe Montana.
We got our razor with 59 action that put you two guys on these two basically. 59 razor.
59 razor! Black 59 razor!
Montana lit up the 49ers world, igniting a fire in the fan base. He became the starting quarterback in 1980, and in a late season game against the Saints, Montana led a remarkable comeback, overcoming a 35-7. The next year, 1981, with Montana at the helm, the 49ers' fortunes had changed. He put on a masterclass, passing for over 3,500 yards, 19 touchdowns at a completion percentage of 63.7. Finally, some life in San Francisco. The fans had waited almost a decade for another playoff appearance, and a new dawn had arrived. There was a buzz in the city. As the Niners launched into the 1981 playoffs, the future looked, I'll say it, almost golden.
Al Gazzano, you've been a fan for what, 32 years?
That's right.
What's this like?
It's fantastic. We're going to bring home a winner. We want a winner.
An excited fan base, a superstar QB, and a city on fire. But let's pause there and rewind again to 1972, the year of their last playoff appearance.
He has won 4, tied 1, and lost 1. More than that, he's now thrown 16 touchdown passes for the year, and that trails only one person after 11 games, Joe Namath.
1972. It was also the year 49ers players and staff debuted the earliest version of the gold jacket. In previous years, the jacket had been white with a red spell out, 49ers on the reverse. But in 1972, they changed it to gold. The jacket made brief appearances throughout the decade and can be glimpsed on the sidelines in footage and player interviews, but like all trends, the jacket needed an iconic moment to catch on.
It's a great day for football. The temperature is 34 degrees.
And that moment arrived in the NFC Championship game a decade later against the Dallas Cowboys in 1981. Montana, with less than a minute to play, threw a game-winning pass to Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone, and the sideline erupted.
6 yards away from Pontiac. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Dwight Clark!
The catch sent the 49ers to their first Super Bowl, and as the players stormed the field in their gold jackets, the world watched live on TV. And from that moment, the gold jacket became a symbol of the 49ers' success, worn by players, coaches, and slowly but surely, the fans. And the stands at Candlestick slowly turned gold. The 1983 NFC Championship? There it was. The 1984 divisional round against the Giants? There it was. The 1989 NFC Championship? Guess what? There it was. But how did this jacket go from the equipment room to every fan's must-have item? That's where we meet Chalkline, a little-known company at that time from Anniston, Alabama. Originally focused on high school apparel, Chalkline landed the NFL's licensing deal in 1984. And one of their first big wins? You guessed it, the 49ers gold satin jacket. The company went from making $700,000 with just 35 employees in 1972 to doing $26 million with 500 employees and 3 manufacturing plants in 1984. But Chalkline didn't actually design the jacket. They took the design the 49ers already had and the specifications from the original designer, Atlanta-based Stahl Urban, and started selling them to fans. Jim Thompson, Chalkline's former vice president of marketing, told the Anniston Star in 1985, "Hey, it's what the guys on the sideline wore. What we're doing is taking the same jacket and letting the fans wear it." And it wasn't just a jacket anymore, it was a statement. By 1988, the company was turning over $41 million in revenue. But at the dawn of the 1990s, things started to sour for Chalkline. Their rapid expansion and eventual sale to a venture capital firm in 1989 led to financial troubles, leaving the company $50 million in debt. And so the doors at Chalkline were closed, leaving a void in the licensed sports apparel market that Starter Sportswear would immediately fill. And get this, Chalkline filed for bankruptcy in 1993, the exact year Joe Montana was traded away from the 49ers to the Chiefs. Like the 49ers' incredible 1980s dynasty, the company's run had come to an end. Chalkline's momentum faded by the 90s, but the legacy of the gold jacket still lives on. Today, you might find a weather jacket on eBay for $200, $300, a far cry from the $50 price tag they were flogging them for in California in the 80s. So the next time you're at Levis Stadium, keep an eye out for the old heads still rocking their old school gold jackets. Because if you see one, go buy them a beer and ask them what it was like when Dwight Clark caught that ball. And remember, the 49ers gold jacket, it's not just fabric, it's a piece of Bay Area history.
Oh my, what a fast completion! 18-yard touchdown pass! He has been throwing a ball harder than that all year with more velocity on it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our deep dive on Starter, Nike and the history of the NFL sideline. Come find us on Instagram or subscribe to us here and drop us a comment telling us which piece of sports history we should cover next.